All right, Jack, here we meet again. And today we're going to be working with the same article that we used last time about the football player. Can you tell me what you remember about it?
What I remember is that he's blind and he wants to play for a certain college team when he gets out of high school.
Yeah. And does he give up because he's blind?
No.
Okay. Right, he doesn't. He keeps on, trying for his dream, right?
Yep.
So last time we talked about text structure, how this was a nonfiction.
Yeah.
It has a title and then subheadings with true information in it. Now today we're going to be doing something called a summary. Okay. Do you know how to write a summary?
No, not really.
Okay. So I want you to think of it like this. If you were to tell someone about your weekend, if I said, Jack, or no, if you said...
summary is like you're writing a sentence.
It usually has a couple sentences in it. And how I like to think about it is, if I said, Jack, what did you do this weekend? What might you tell me? What did you do?
Rode my bike. I also played outside.
So rode your bike, played outside. Can you think of one more thing?
Hung out with my friends.
Perfect. So we'll pause right there. So do you think you had a good weekend?
Yes.
So listen, the way my summary would go for you is, I had a good weekend. This is because I rode my bike. I also
hung out with my friends.
Hung out with my friends and and watched a movie and played outside practicing football. This is why I had a good weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so the main idea is you had a good weekend. And your examples are the reasons why you had a good weekend, okay?
Yeah.
So for this activity, it's going to be like the same thing. We're going to read it one time through, and we're going to think about what's the main idea of this article, right? What is the author trying to teach us? Okay?
Yep.
So I'm going to read it to you, and I just want you to think about, what's the big message of this article? Okay?
Yep.
I think it's pretty powerful. So, it says, Jake Olson lost his sight but worked hard to make the football team. And here's our photo. It says, Jake Olson, who is blind, is a long snapper for the Orange Lutheran High School football team and is also part of the school's golf team. Okay. Jake Olson is blind. He also loves football. Olson dreams of playing football with the Trojans. The Trojans are the football team of the University of Southern California, USC.
You must live in California then.
That's a good, inference. Olson has loved the Trojans for years. Olson lost his sight when he was 12. Losing his sight but keeping his dream. Okay. Olson is now a high school student. He is in the last year at Orange Lutheran High School. Olson never stopped wanting to play football. It seemed impossible because he is blind. Then he thought of a way. He would become a long snapper. Long snappers do not need to see the ball or the players. A long snapper passes the ball to a player behind him. Another player then kicks it forward. He tries to score a field goal. Olson spoke to Orange Lutheran coach Chuck Peterson. He asked Coach Peterson if he could join the team, working hard to make the team. Peterson said he would give Olson a try. Things were hard for Olson at first. He had to practice over and over. Olson got much better over time. Eventually, he made the team. Teammates guide Olson onto the field. Then they help him line up with the ball. Olson is no different from any other player except for that. We didn't see him as a blind person, kicker Jerry Fitchson said. We saw him as a football player. The kick is good. Olsen had an exciting moment last season. His team was playing against Servite High. The score was 25-22. The game was almost over. Olsen came on for the snap. Everything kind of got quieter, he said. Well, this is pretty cool, he thought to himself. The snap and kick were both perfect. Orange Lutheran tied the score. Another challenge. Olsen is starting classes at USC in the fall. He's excited to be at the home of the Trojans. Olsen has not been picked for the team yet. He may be called out onto the field one day, though. Steve Sarkisian, I'm going to just call him Steve, is USC's football coach. Someday he's going to snap in a game for us, Steve said of Olsen. When? I don't know, but it will happen. He added, when that day comes, it will be awesome. Olsen is not expecting special treatment. He said all he wants is a chance to prove himself, or to prove myself. So, what do you think the big meaning of this article is?
He just wants to prove himself and be on the team.
Yeah, and what's the theme? What's the message of the story?
Message of the story is he just wants to be on the team and be part of the Trojans.
Why is it so important for him to be on the team?
Because he wants to prove to other people that blind people can do just as much as non-blind people can.
So I'm gonna help us out here. So sometimes in life, you have to what? Prove
yourself.
You have to prove yourself. And this was from the article, right?
Yep.
What was the article called?
The article was called, let me think, hang on. I think I have
it's
it
right
enough.
here.
Jake Olsen lost his sight but worked hard
To make the football team. So I'm going to say in the article about who?
Jake.
Olsen. A lesson is sometimes in life you have to prove yourself. So the main idea, ready? In the article about Jake Olsen, a lesson is sometimes in life you have to prove yourself. Okay, so great, I agree. But now we need to find details to support that. So Jack,
Yep.
we need to be detectives. This is the hard part. We have to see if we can find 3 details that prove sometimes in life you have to prove yourself.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So what types of things does Jake do?
He long snaps and he just wants to be to prove people that they're wrong about him being like the people who say like, whoa, this guy's gonna do this blind. He's probably not gonna be able to do that. He wants to prove people wrong and tell them like, I know how to do this. I can do this.
Okay, and where does it say that in this text?
It says it in the text. I don't remember what page, but I remember.
Carrie, you can look. You can scroll on here.
Let's see. This part right here, or somewhere on the love the Trojan for years. Olsen is now. Wait, no. Where is it? I'm losing.
Yeah, okay.
Working hard to make the team. Peterson said he would give Olsen a try.
Okay. So right underneath it, it says things were hard for Olsen at first. He had to practice over and over. Olsen got much better over time. Eventually, he made the team. So what part of this shows that sometimes you have to prove yourself? What does he do? What does he do in order for Coach Peterson to give him a try?
Works hard.
Yeah, what does it say here? What did he do?
He practiced over and over.
Okay, so now we're going to pop back over here and we're going to say the article says he worked. What does it say?
He worked hard over and over again. Over. No, it only says over twice. My bad.
He worked hard over. We can check. Oh, he had to practice over and over. So the article says he had to practice over and over. To what?
To get on the team. To get on the team, yeah, get on the team.
To get on the team, even though he was what?
Blind.
Okay. The article says he had to practice over and over to get on the team, even though he was blind. Okay, is there another example in here? So we just use this one. I'll do them in green. Is there anything else? Another detail showing how he practiced over and over, or how he had to prove himself? Is there anything in the beginning?
Olsen is now a high school student. He is in a last year Orange Luther High School. Olsen never stopped wanting to play football. It seemed impossible because he is blind. Then he thought of a way he would become a long snapper. Long snappers do not need to see the ball. Well, he's blind and he does not need to see the ball or the other player. And he doesn't really necessarily need to see because he doesn't need to see the player or the ball.
Because he just has to snap. So did he give up on his dream?
No.
So what could we say?
Olsen did not give up on his dream of playing football.
Because what? Because how?
Because
What does it say here?
Because a long snapper does not need to do anything. He does not need to, or back that up.
The long snapper does not need
to see the ball or the other player.
Or the other players. How does this connect back? Sometimes you have to prove yourself. How does it connect back to this, Jack? This detail supports it, but how?
Wait, I'm trying to think. I don't get the question.
So, Olsen did not give up on his dream of playing football because a long snapper does not need to see the ball or the other players. How does this show that he's proving himself?
He's proving himself by doing stuff. I know. Erase that, please.
Okay.
I don't remember.
No, you're on the right track though. He's proving himself by what? Did he give up?
No.
What's he doing?
Proving himself by not giving up.
By not giving up. Okay. So Jack, let's see if we can find one more in here. We've looked in the beginning and in the middle, right?
No,
so let's see if we can look at the end. Is there anything in the end?
The end?
I even see the word prove here somewhere.
bottom it says, he said all he wants to is a chance to prove myself.
Yeah, and who does he want to prove himself to?
To Steve.
Yeah, crazy last name.
Sarkinson.
Yeah. So how could we say that for
He
detail
wants
3?
to prove himself to Steve Sarkinson.
To see, I think it was Sark. Let's just check back. Sarkinsin. He wants to prove himself to Steve Sarkinson because
he knows he can do it.
he knows he can do what?
Play on the team. As long as he works hard at it.
Right. As long as he works hard at it. So, Jack, remember I told you we were going to be writing a summary today? And if we tie it back to the beginning, I told you a summary is the main idea, which we have about proving yourself,
Yep.
followed by details. So look it looks like to me we have that here. They're just not together in a paragraph. We have this main idea.
Yep.
We have 3 details to support it. So now what do we need to do with them?
What do you need to do? You need to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember. I don't recall the word.
So we want to make it into a paragraph now. And all of our sentences are there. We just need to kind
You said
of...
Jack Olson.
Oh, whoops. Did I?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Thank you. So if I want to make these into a paragraph, what do I need to do? I just need to smush them all together, right?
Yep.
So how could I do that down here where it
Highlight
says summary?
Highlight them and bring them down.
Okay. So like highlight this one.
Yeah. Wait, you're showing me how to do this?
No, masking. And then copy it. And bring it down.
Then paste it.
Okay, so we did this one. Now which one has to go next?
The detail 1, the article says he had to practice over and over to get on the team, even though he was blind.
Right. And now which one comes next?
Number 2, Olsen did not give up on his dream of playing football because a long snapper does not need to see the ball or the other players. He is proving himself by not giving up.
Great. And one more.
Detail number 3, he wants to prove himself to Steve Sarkinson because he knows can play on the team as long as he works hard at it.
Okay. Control V.
Wait, am I going to be typing this at some point?
I don't think we need to retype it. You did a good job bringing it down. So I just want you to see though, we read this article, right?
Yeah.
We found what the main idea was, or the message, right?
Yep.
And we found 3 supporting details, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we just smushed it together. And Jack, that is a summary, basically. It's the main idea, the big main idea, with some key details. You always want to shoot to have 3 details, but sometimes you can only find 2, but we were able to find 3. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel pretty good about writing summaries now?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So what do you need to do first? You need to find the what?
Find the main idea, find 2 or 3 details.
Mm-hmm. And throw them in a paragraph, right?
Yeah, pretty easy.
Okay, you did it. Nice job.